My guru always emphasized the welcome. That's Swami Muktananda. And he used to say at the beginning of every program, Sabko Barasanmani Kasat Prem Se Rudik Swagat, which means with great respect and love, I welcome you all with all my heart. And I always felt that was the cornerstone of what he taught, that you can talk about many complex techniques and philosophies, but the heart-to-heart welcome is the essence of it. So I think that might be reflected here. And certainly it's the highest spiritual path that I've found. So welcome.
Thank you. Sometimes we think welcoming is doing something. We're doing welcoming now. And then maybe sometimes we're lucky enough to notice that when everything else falls away, all that is left is welcome.
Well, that's true. The yogis always say that the path is more about divesting ourselves of our ignorance and our stupidity and not finding anything new, that is already the purity of the self is already there, it's always existent, but we've overlaid it with all these tendencies and some scars and negative emotions and neuroses. All we have to do is let that stuff go, and what will be there will be pure gold. That's the gold of the self. So I agree with you on that.
I do think it's important to refine our language or keep that in mind, that we're not really creating anything or chasing anything, that we're actually just kind of sitting to see what are these things that are covering this essence, it must be the collective, right? I mean, I didn't invent all this stuff.
Well, culture carries it, our parents carry it, but it's also, I think, karmic patterns that we carry from life to life.
It's collective, right?
Collective, yeah. It's unexplainable, really. In Vedanta, they say Maya, or the principle of the illusion, can't be explained. So I think that's definitive. It's a given. It's a given, and thank heavens that the sages are here to say that there's something behind the given. Then we can find it. But somehow we have this predicament, this condition, this difficulty that's called human life.
Somehow I see it almost as the other way around, that the explanation is the Maya. That is the explanation, right? And then when the explanation falls away, the Maya
in some sense
turns into an illusion.
But you could say that the explanation is the medicine. For every disease you need an equal and opposite medicine. And so the yoga becomes a medicine, but at the end of it you throw the medicine away and there's no disease and there's no condition. But we have to have some tolerance for the method.
Right, because what we're doing now called insane planetary life is a method.
It's a method, an unskilled method, the Buddhists would say, that it's a method with no sense, with a lot of selfishness.
Method of madness, right?
Yeah, a method of madness. But not the method that is in madness, It's chaotic, it's greedy, it's selfish, it's short-sighted.
Well, life could be chaos, but we just don't want to accept the chaos, right? Life is not ordered. Life is not logical. I mean, logical is the overlay, the explanation. Actually, it is the sickness, right?
Well, there's a difference between logic and order. And I think in a profound way, life is supremely ordered, but with a higher intelligence, not just the rational mind. Rational mind imposes a very limited kind of order, but the divine mind creates an order of such beauty and such enormity and such extraordinary symmetries that it knocks you out when you come in touch with it. That's what in the Bhagavad Gita, where Arjuna asked Krishna to show him his cosmic self. In the 11th chapter, there's a fantastic encounter, and finally Krishna says, "Oh, I don't want to do it, and finally Arjuna says, "Please, please," and he says, "Okay, here it is," and he shows him his true self, not the limited personal self, and Arjuna freaks out. He sees everything, the whole catastrophe the pairs of opposites, the good and the bad, life and death, cruelty and love, everything in one big boiling minestrone. And he finally says, I can't take it anymore, go back. But I think that's what life is. At the highest level, it's an extraordinary aesthetic, but you have to transcend personhood to experience that.
Last night we worked on the Shiva process.
Mm.
And so it was my first time to, I won't explain it right now, but I mean, it's pretty brilliant. And I think we were talking about, we called it matrika. Is that?
Yeah.
What is matrika?
Matrika is a concept from Kashmir Shaivism. And you see the word matrika, you can see the word matrix in it. It's a mother. So matrika considered the unknown mothers. The ka suffix means the unknown. So the unknown mothers of this whole world are our language, the letters of the alphabet. Like, just like what you were saying, that the whole world is created by language. The way we understand ourselves, the way we communicate with others, we use language to do everything. And there's a whole universe of language right within our own mind. Or these are matrikas that keep coming up in our mind without asking for them. They just keep coming up. So this concept, this tremendous cloud of matrikas we actually live in. And our well-being is dependent on them. When the matrikas run in the right direction, then we have harmony and we are successful and we're happy. When the matrikas go in the wrong direction, we become miserable and contracted. The worst kind of matrikas are what I call tearing thoughts. These are inner matrikas, where thoughts that actually tear into the thinker. Now,
Say that word again. Theron?
Tearing, as in tearing.
Oh.
To tear.
Oh, tear.
Yeah, so it's as though an arrow was taken and tore into your own heart. And, no matter what anybody says bad about you, the things you say in your own space, or all of us, it's terrible. We say, I'm no good, I'm worthless. These are tearing thoughts. I'm a loser. I'll never get anywhere. I'm less than that person. These are tearing thoughts. And they're the one phenomenon, the inner phenomenon, that most limits us and most makes us miserable. So these are negative matrikas. And, a great athlete is at the moment of triumph. A tearing thought comes in, you can't do it. We're going for a job interview, tearing thoughts come in, we don't give our best. That happens in every phase of life. We continually get defeated by it. And if the tearing thoughts are there strong enough, they become depression. And if you really analyze it closely, a person who's depressed only means that there's a whole lot of tearing thoughts going on in his inner space. So this is a very, very big thing. This is negative matrika. And we have to learn to observe them and then to overcome them and move them in the right direction.